Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube, and we appreciate all of you for locking into today's awesome show. Be sure to like and subscribe and all the other good stuff to get notifications for this show and more. On today's awesome episode, I will first talk about the single game elimination and why I think it is long-term a good thing for the league despite the obvious pushbacks. Then we'll talk to our guest, Allison Schneider, who does PR for the Georgia Swarm, among other things. We'll talk to her about her job this upcoming weekend for the Swarm against the Bandits and other things. Then we'll start off the mics, part one. We'll give the awards that no one else will do besides me. We're talking Breakout Star, Best 2A Player, Assistant Coach of the Year, and the Golden Lunchbox. Without further ado, this show is presented by the NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Head there now, and don't worry, even though Canada residents cannot get the merchandise, unfortunately, they can shop other places on Amazon and still help us out just the same. All right, so now let's get into our first segment. And I know when I do this, it's going to I get it. There's certain things that the league invests in that you're like, is this good long term? Is it costing people money? All that good stuff. And to be fair, the single game elimination is probably not the best for revenue. I understand that, if you want to make a bunch of money, you got to maximize the playoffs. But to me, that argument also, it loses traction when you think about how many games would you stop at? Because by the logic of one game's not good enough, then would you all be okay with a 15-game playoff round one? No. Revenue is revenue, and the more the merrier, obviously. But I get why people say we need more than one game. But I also feel again, at what point do you stop? You can't just say, and again, I know there's going to be some people you got to maximize it. Well, again, what game do you stop at? If it's not one, you want more. It's 7, 11, 13, 15, where do we go to? So that's my mindset on the revenue part of it. Also, as a sports fan, very many people watched March Madness because it was single game elimination. I think the drama for just one game is massive, and I think the fan experience is also incredible. You don't have another game to think about it. It's win or lose right now. NFL playoffs is the same thing. Now, does this mean I want every single playoff round to be single game? Absolutely not. But do I like in the first round that if you are truly the best team, knock off the 8 seed? Absolutely I do. Because Buffalo Bandits have won 3 straight finals, and they've gone to 4 or 5 in a row. In fact, instead of guessing about that every time, I know it's 5, but I always bring myself back to saying 4. So let's go through the history just real quick of the Buffalo Bandits, because I think this drives home my single game elimination point. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, so 5 years in a row that there has been an opportunity for a championship to be played, the Bandits have made it. Now, I want to make sure, because I don't go that far back, let's look at 2019 and make sure how the playoffs worked then. I can't tell right off the bat. Okay, so regardless of that, we know at least the last 4 times there have been single game elimination. And that's my point. If you are the best team, you will beat the lower seeds. So I think that part matters. And again, the revenue, sure. But at some point, you have to understand that, like, the drama absolutely helps. Same thing with unified standings. Does it cost team out the wazoo? Absolutely. But long term, do I think that helps with I'm praying, with a potential TV deal? Yes. Like, that's what we want, is a unified standings. We're sacrificing, we're a bunch of money right now, but it goes long term. Like, look at this year alone. The playoff race was stupid awesome. It would have never been that good with conferences. You had to sacrifice. Same thing with single game. Now, granted, I will have one thing to say. I do want this to be the only round single game, obviously. And I did not like it at first either, for the record. But I saw that the Bandits could overcome, so why can't the best teams overcome it? They should be able to. I do like 3 games in round 2. I want 5 in the finals if we get there. 5 is obviously a long ways away because of arena availability and stuff like that. 7, I think, would be too much. But I can see 5 being my limit. And the more I think about it, it's like the NLL, the problem is the games happen so quickly. Like, NFL takes 3 or 4 hours to complete. So I can see why 5 games or 3 games would be my limit. But for first round, give me drama. Like, this is like the unified standings. Darn the profits right now, because long term, this is awesome. Even if at first you don't seem to like it. And I get it, but I think it's fun. And this Saturday, I will literally walk to the Swarm game if I have to. I haven't looked at how long of a walk that would be, but I may have to start very soon. Regardless of that, the Swarm are playing the Bandits in a game that I think might be a rivalry game because of single game eliminations in the past. Who knows? What do the Swarm think? We'll ask Allison Schneider, PR of the Swarm on the other side. Not just that question, but many questions. But is Swarm Bandits a rivalry? I don't know. We'll find out what they have to say. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
back to Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. Once again, as always, stay tuned for our part 1 of the mics. As you guys know, I said it yesterday. I got an awards ballot this year, so I cannot do all of the awards today, but we're going to do 4 that the NLL didn't even think of, so I got you guys on the other side. But this Saturday in Duluth at Gas South Arena, 7:30, the Georgia Swarm will play host to the Buffalo Bandits for a single game elimination. A person who will be there doing, I'm sure, excellent work as always, even if it's more than what she's asked to do. We're going to bring in Swarm PR, Allison Schneider. How are you?
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, we're living the dream with a playoff game on the line on Saturday.
Oh, lives on the line. I love that. Chrome to the Dome, family. Come on now, let's go. So obviously we didn't know, like, going into last weekend that this would be happening. But how do you feel like extra work? We're doing overtime here.
Yeah, it's interesting because we haven't hosted since 2019, and I'm looking back in the photos and I'm like, damn, we haven't hosted since 2019. But the last 2 years we've been prepared pretty much like if we were gonna host. So now it's like I love to say this saying, balls to the walls. We gotta sell the tickets, gotta sell the arena kind of thing. But tough weekend for us. Got the Hawks playing playoff game and the Braves in town, so it's gonna be a lot of competition. But honestly, we gotta push. I think it's gonna be an epic game, better than any other games.
Yes, it's funny because the stupid Hawks traded away Trae Young and got better. Like, who saw that coming? Not us. Whatever. Can you explain, like, because I actually haven't asked you this and I should have.
Yeah.
The Georgia Swarm, like, Instagram or just social media branding has gone to a blue and black.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's more for our playoff look. That's what we kind of decided on. So it's vibrant. People are going to love to see it. Sorry for the squeaks of the dog.
Love those.
Okay. But yeah, just making it vibrant, making known that we are here. We are a professional team down in Atlanta. Like, that's what we want to be known for.
You've been crushing. I know you have a tiny team over there of social media, but you guys do a good job. It's fun to see. Were you there in 2019 when they hosted the last one?
Oh man, I was up in Wisconsin yet. I
was going to say baby photos. That's awesome. So let's rewind now back to your Wisconsin roots. Like, obviously, I would assume that the NLL lacrosse was not your thing. It might have been. What sports were you liking growing up, though?
Yeah, lacrosse wasn't really existent at all up there, unless you're probably towards the Madison area. I grew up more towards the Green Bay. So we had a lot more basketball, volleyball, track, football kind of thing. Basketball is huge in Wisconsin. So, every day. So I hooped since I was in kindergarten.
Really?
But I also played volleyball and I threw in track. I didn't run unless my dad made me.
Hey, listen, like, in order to win the games, like, you got to toss the baton. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you a Packers owner or no?
No, because
I love
the 4, but have I been to Lambeau many times? Of course, it's my home.
That's so cool. So, I mean, have you reached out, or do you even know if lacrosse has grown anything in Green Bay area, or you don't know?
No, it definitely is not, unless you're in the Oneida Nation. That's pretty much it. There's a little bit there, but it's not really big at all. People are like, what is lacrosse? What sport do you work for? Like, what is this? Thing up
lacrosse? Is that French? No.
The city of La Crosse in Wisconsin. That's what it is.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. So let's get into just this part of it. Because I tell people, like, I'm in Savannah, like, you think they don't know about lacrosse up there. Like, oh my, it's even worse here.
Yeah.
What are the challenges of does it bring the PR person? Like, what challenges do you face, like, knowing, like, literally no one knows what this thing is down here? How do you counteract that?
And I'm kind of dealing with it now with playoffs and stuff, just to try to get media out in Atlanta, folks out to get on the news. And it's, like, so annoying because, I'm telling them, we got the best game of the weekend in playoffs. You got a single elimination game against the 3-time defending Bandits. you're bringing a playoff game back for the first time since 2019, and yet not a response. I'm dealing with media, and I'm trying to get them to come out. I'm personally emailing them. I'm commenting if you see my comments on them on the news stations. It's just because I'm not heard back from anybody, and that's the struggle. We invite them to games and stuff. We get the guys on the news a little bit in the beginning of the year, but that's all we hear pretty much here. So it's tough. It's tough.
I think you probably felt sympathy for the people that were left with the Wings, because I told people in the show, where the hell was CBS 13 Philadelphia? Like, all respect, like, where were y'all the whole season?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to come to games now. Who knew?
I know. And it makes me so sad because, like, these guys deserve so much coverage. And I just want the news. I'm trying. I really want to build their relationships with media. And I'm just so sad that they don't want to support or just can't come out to a game because, it's very competitive down here. Sure. But I'm just a little disappointed a little bit. I think media could definitely be better with coverage and stuff down here.
It's not just Georgia. Like, I don't want people to think we're picking up, because you were obviously going to hype up Georgia for us in a minute here. But, like, it's like I was talking with my buddy Captain who went to couple of games up there, like for the Rock, it's like y'all are in Hamilton, the Toronto Rock, and like no one's breaking down your door. It's unfortunate that's that way for many teams. So we appreciate people like you that are doing the Lord's work. So we appreciate you. So what have you grown to like about the NLL, and like how long have you been in this thing? And what do you like about it?
Yeah, so this is my third season. I came from NBA background with the Milwaukee Bucks and like college athletics and stuff. But the fact is, it's different. I really like how physical it is. I think I like it more than hockey. I don't understand hockey much, but after watching lacrosse, it reminds me of basketball. Save that comment there. I think it's just very physical. The guys run a lot. Yeah, I still don't know quite a bit of the game. Coaches are like, don't look at my scratch sheets. But like, I still don't know what lacrosse means. I don't know a lot of the guys, but you get to know the sport if you keep watching and keep following it. It's a lot simpler than it is. A lot of basketball plays is what I compared the pick and roll, the defensive running transitions and stuff. I've grown to like it. Like, it's definitely something I'd never thought I'd be in, and now I love it. So
this is a lie for the record. I told people like the hockey, to me, the best part of lacrosse is the star players have the ball. Hockey, like if Connor McJesus is not touching the ball, but for 20% of the game, I'm not watching.
Right.
Like they view an assist as not an anti-hockey show here, but if you're throwing it at the net and that's your assist because you can't control a thing, that's not cool to me.
Yeah.
Like basketball, football, and lacrosse are so fun. Box lacrosse is so fun for me. And being a Georgia game, was Charlie B doing the thing this year still?
Yeah, Charlie B's doing the thing. He's also doing the thing with the Falcons, so he's becoming a bigger name. Yeah. Shout out to him. He's awesome. But yeah, it's super cool. It's definitely, not going to lie, I hate on the PLL or like outdoor lacrosse. I do like box lacrosse way more. I think it's the outdoor lacrosse reminds me of soccer, and I'm not a big soccer fan. So,
yeah. So have you seen, I've experienced this like in person and watching on TV. Box lacrosse works both ways. That's rare for a sport, in my opinion.
Yeah. Very rare.
So now let's get to you mentioned you like the guys who deserve it, and one of those guys is obviously Lyle Thompson. Lyle Thompson is one of like the guys who like eats, breathes, sleeps, like loves lacrosse, is lacrosse. Everything about lacrosse is about Lyle Thompson. What is it like working around a guy like that closer than other people get to?
So I always tell this story when people ask me, "Oh my gosh, you work with Lyle." Fun fact, I didn't know who he was when I first came down here.
Fair.
And I always think this is a funny story. We were going to some Atlanta news first station, and we were in the car together, and he goes, "Do you know who I am?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "How do you know about this job? Like, how did you get this job?" And I go, "I don't know. I applied, kind of thing." And he goes, "Oh, okay, cool." And honestly, like working with Lyle, like sometimes he's like my best friend. Just we're working together so much.
He seems nice. If you're
he's a great guy, great personality. Once in a while he can respond to me. It takes a little bit, but that's an inside joke. But no complaints. He's a hardworking guy. A lot going on. I mean, big family as well. So nothing bad to say about him at all.
I feel like I should ask him this, but do we know? I love the flow this year, but do we know why he went away from the braid, or you don't know that?
I do a little bit. It was more of a personal choice, like just kind of wanted to kind of thing. I think his little son got his haircut too, so I thought it was cute. So kind of the father-son duo, and I, respect that in any way. I mean, his hair in the braid, hair in short, it looks fabulous. I mean, sometimes I'm wondering what shampoo he uses. So
right, the flow, takes his helmet off. Whoa.
Yeah, it looks great no matter what.
I take the headset off and I got like antennas. Like, what is this crap? So let's talk about now. Like, I mean, we've waited for this moment. We knew the Brett Dobson was awesome. We have not seen the NLL part of this, and I feel like, okay, this year works. How has it been? Like, you've seen him last year versus this year. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, unbelievable. Brett last year, he was really good, but this year, the next step up,
unbelievable.
And this man, he works hardcore every day, like Jordan said in the locker room, if you watch that video, that guy's studying film. He's studying, he's studying the shots. He's helping the other guys out. He deserves it. I don't think, sorry if anybody else deserves it, but he really deserves it. He really stepped up to the plate and, took ownership of the team. And he's been wanting this for a while. And I think he deserves it no matter what.
How cool to see a person that's like cool, but you see a guy who's obviously is open about his diabetic issues.
Yeah.
Knowing what probably behind the scenes more what he deals with because you see the stuff. Mm-hmm. Is it just describe what it's like seeing his hard work overcoming certain health issues?
Yeah, it's honestly impeccable because he takes care of himself, but he's also trying to teach others that they can do it too. And, working with kids, or we bring out youth group camps that are like
Kai the goalie.
Kai the goalie. Yeah, Kai the goalie. Gotta mention Kai if he's watching here. It's really cool to see him work with kids. He's such good with kids. All my guys are, honestly, at any gym program we do. They're such kid-friendly guys. I love seeing it. It makes a smile on my face, why I love going out every time I'm with them. So
I always say it's bittersweet because if they did get millions and millions of dollars, you don't know how accessible they would be. Mm-hmm. But because they are how they are, we get to see this part of them before they explode. It's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the rookies now. Nolan Byrne and Michael Grace in particular. And there's other ones that have been great. But tell me why, besides just God-given talent, do you think those guys have been awesome?
Honestly, they're putting the extra work outside of practice or even after shoot around. They're just around trying with goals and stuff. And, they're focused. They're great guys. They'll come talk to you no matter what. I think their IQ knowledge is just really high in lacrosse aspect. And I think that's just makes them a great player. The defense, obviously, this year is really great. You got Jacob Hickey in the lineup as well, doing great defensive plays. You got Wiedemann hyping up the crowd. Mike Manley defense, Jeff on the defense, Kaysen. You can forget Kaysen sometimes, Tarbell and stuff on the transition. So, it's great to see that the defensive guys really stepping up. And I think this year is just took another level to the guys for sure.
Mike Manley, state trooper, Jordan Swarman, unbelievable. I don't see how that works like that. It's unbelievable what they do.
Hey, I
don't know if you're allowed to disclose this little side tangent here. A state trooper's a pretty cool job. Any other cool jobs? And you don't even have to say which guy has it if you don't want to. Is there any jobs you're like state trooper was what the hell?
Yeah, Mike is definitely one of the odd ones. That's really
odd in a good way, by the way.
Yeah, in a really good way. A lot of people don't know they work 2 jobs, and they're like, "What? They fly down every weekend?" Yes.
Right. It was just one job.
Yeah, one job. A lot of guys are the business teachers, or they coach lacrosse, or not business teachers, just business guys. Coach lacrosse. Nothing really crazy. I mean, a lot of the guys I used to know had herd cattle, or they were teachers and stuff. So nothing really crazy this year.
State trooper's always the cool one.
Yeah, that was probably the best one. I know there used to be a firefighter on the team one point too.
The firefighters those guys are always cool, but I getting pulled over if you aren't an NLL fan in New York. It's no way. I was speeding, you got me.
I
Oh
dress
man,
like a grandma. Can't tell you.
right. So now let's do. I gotta because you. I'm gonna like. She's apparently a cook, everybody, or at least a baker. You do a lot of social content, original stuff there, which we're gonna get to the Ray capture stuff in a minute. But Pie Day was one that stood out for me. Tell the people about Pie Day what I find interesting. You know why I find it interesting?
What?
Because you made the pie.
Yeah, I made the pie. I made the
What
pie.
is there any other fun stuff you do on social media that we should know about here?
I bake a lot. I'll bring
Wow.
cookies to the locker room. I think last week I brought monster cookies for the guys.
What?
Well, if I got time, I'll try to bake and stuff. Just I was
Here, guys, just because.
they're my biggest critics sometimes. So
I love that.
the pie though, I was like, it's pie day. Like I need something for like socials, and some of the guys didn't want to do it, and I'm like, why not? It's so fun. But I did bake the pies. A lot of compliments and stuff on the pies. They were homemade. So yeah,
they were rating the pie, right?
yeah, they were rating my pie, and they're like, "Oh, you just want us to rate the pie and tell us how you like it?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely."
So that part like gets me laughing because like you knew like some people like always like criticizing their own food even though like, they know they're good at making it.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that you actually did that for a show. So that's a sacrifice right there.
100%.
That was the mental there.
I'm an outgoing person, so I don't mind.
There you go. All right, so now let's talk about the Swarm and the Bandits. We'll get to this part first.
Okay.
What is the key to the Swarm winning this game and a title? Is it just Brad Dobson?
No, it's the whole team. You can't just put one guy on the bench. It's the whole team.
PR team. Talking.
Come on. No, it's just the team. I'm a team person. I always should be. I don't know. Honestly, I think, you see the guys who played them the first game of the season and what they are now.
Yeah.
You had what? I think I just got a coach Ed here. I had a talk with him. 8 new guys, their first game playing against Buffalo Bandits, putting up a banner and ring ceremony. You can judge the first game of the season when you think about that. So,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm here.
I was going to say you just casually mentioned that he's bringing up the first game, and I know what the point he was making, but I was going to ask you, is it a rivalry? And for him to say that, is he like going to tell? Because these are a bunch of new guys, especially the rookies. Hey, like, remember they beat y'all in Buffalo? Like, how would it feel? I mean, motivation, right?
Yeah, it's definitely motivation. But both teams have 2 basically new teams, and there's I don't know. I mean, it's always a rival against Buffalo. They're big guys that come in. I got the chance the first year they played them up in Buffalo, and we lost that overtime game. Oh. And let me just tell you, I was terrified of filming down below by Buffalo fans and stuff.
Oh no.
But I mean, it's very competitive between the two. I think a lot of people know like their knowledge of each other playing in summer camp.
Yeah.
So I think it's just who wants it more this game, honestly. If the offenses are going to be on, the defenses are going to be on. I think, last year was a different group than this year. So I can't really compare the two. I think it's just going to be who wants it more.
Josh, that was a Josh Bird overtime game winner, right, in the playoffs? Yep. That's what I circle back to. Like, it just, they had him. It was right there. Man.
Yeah.
And Dobson was there. Lyle was there. And like Shane Jackson, like there's a couple of guys I know still would love that have been their barn. Now, if it's an overtime game, I don't like a good heart attack, but I wouldn't mind one this weekend.
We're the overtime champs is what I always tell people after, having Andrew Q on our team last year and the year before. We're just the overtime queens and kings over here because we know how to handle it pretty much.
Captain, I called him Captain Clutch a couple times. I don't know where. I wish he would have been doing this in Colorado like he did in Georgia, but whatever. Finally, I got to ask you about Ray Capture Media Company because we like to, it's not just Allison Swarm, Georgia Swarm PR. That's all she does. You got your many hats.
Yes, many hats. I do all the PR, in-game stuff, scratch sheets beforehand, videography during the game, all the social posts, trying to work with my interns. So we're running around like crazy. Everything you pretty much see is just a graphic designer and I who do all the marketing at the team.
God.
So if a lot of people don't know that, we run a really small team at the Georgia Swarm. it's tough. It's definitely tough. There's times I think we're going on 11 days straight of working. We'll be 14 by the end of this. So, we're pushing through. Caffeine is my lover. But yeah, I do a lot more. I mean, I've worked in sports pretty much my whole life. I've done, some media stuff. And I was like, why not start freelancing a little bit more in the industry? So you just never know. Never know. So if you want some media help or some sports help, you got me.
There we go.
What I'm doing. I promise you.
Ray Capture Media on Instagram is in the description of the show, as it was in the Instagram story. So we appreciate you for that. You're busy right now apparently because you got some I know Lyle's been texting you, Brett Dobson. I'm like, this is unbelievable right now.
Yeah, Dobson's texting me. Yeah, but not those requests. They're just little requests. We'll be in the community tomorrow. We'll see. With the guys, we're really trying to amp this up and let people know that we're playing a home game at Gas South Arena. People, show up, be there, be
please. Loud. I gotta do the
Michael, you gonna walk?
I'm looking at the walking distance right now.
Oh, right, okay.
3 days.
I told you to leave the other day.
It was 3 days. That's unbelievable. And for me, it might take 6. See you there. Oh wow! Thank you so much.
I haven't been to a game all season, guys. I'm not making.
It's bad. It's. How dare me?
I'm going to shoot him pretty soon, guys, if he's not come to us for
This is like relinquish all the rights.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Allison. Stay safe. Keep doing awesome, and then we'll see you Saturday.
We'll see you Saturday. Get walking.
Woohoo! I gotta get I told myself, folks, I gotta get in shape before like the next Swarm game. But if walking there is gonna do it, the whole point of walking there is I have had so much like flat tires. I have the Geico commercial. So, oh well. Second PR person we've had on the show. The first one was Mackie Jenner. There you go. We appreciate Allison Schneider from the Georgia Swarm. We come back though. The mics. It's 4 awards because we cannot give out the other awards yet. But we'll tell you what my assistant coach of the year, breakout star, best two-way player, not transition, best two-way player, and of course, our golden lunchbox. Stay tuned. You're watching Dilly Dive. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Dilly Dive. It is Wednesday, hump day. I haven't said that in a while. April 22nd, 2026. You are watching Dilly Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks from the planets here on North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Earlier, I told you guys, I think single game elimination in the playoffs is pretty cool. I think even though the lack of revenue is a issue, I think it's a good investment. I found it weird that the NBA playoffs have had quite a few games on Amazon Prime and Peacock only. I hope the NLL does not follow in that direction, considering like that would obviously mean you have a TV deal at that point. I found that crazy the NBA was doing that. But anyways, I like the single game elimination, and I think it works. I think it's a good investment. We talked to Allison Schneider, the Georgia Swarm PR. What on earth did that just happen? The fact I'm still live and this is happening is crazy, by the way. We'll take it's crazy. If the camera just broke, we will take a. Oh, look at that! Look who's back again. I improvise. All right. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, we talking the Allison Schneider of the Georgia Swarm. That was cool. So be there at Gas South Arena in Duluth if you're not this Saturday. We will find you. And I'm starting walking after the show. Regardless. Thanks for her coming on. Now, let's get to the mind. Again, we're back. It still feels good. Let's do it. So, I've got 3 finalists for each of these things, and I cannot give you my MVP or other cool stuff like that. But I've got assistant coach, best 2-way player, golden lunchbox, and breakout star. All right? We'll do the golden lunchbox first. All right? The golden lunchbox award is just the hardworking guys, really like the best hard work of the season, the one who is usually not going to be a star, but is doing all the little things. You may not even notice whether the team losing or other things happening out of their control, but they were doing awesome. They were showing out most of the games, and even though the stat sheet sometimes did not show it. Number 3 for me, and is also inspired by Greggy's Grinder. Number 3 for me is Aiden Walsh. You guys know that I was a big goalie proponent when we started this whole thing. I thought that the mental grind that the goalies go through is huge. I mentioned Riley Hutchcraft this year, but Aiden Walsh for the Calgary Roughnecks. It's interesting that now Colby Bowman has joined the fray of being awesome in Calgary. But Aiden Walsh coming into Calgary this year, he was the heir apparent to Del Bianco. We don't even know if he's a stopgap or if he is the future. I thought he played good in Vancouver, but he was not Del Bianco. I thought he played really well this year, but he wasn't Colby Bowman. But Aiden Walsh deserves a lot of credit. Number 2, rookie, Toronto Rock, CJ Kirst. CJ Kirst did all of the little things so well. It wasn't just the 19 caused turnovers, which looks amazing on paper. It was the fact that he would work for loose balls offensively. I call them offensive rebounds. He would fight through picks. He would always make the right play, and he would shoot with his left hand if needed. He would always make sure the play wasn't over until they got a good shot off. And CJ Kirst deserves a lot of credits. But the winner for me of the golden lunchbox is going to go to Nick Damude, Philadelphia Wings goaltender. Nick Damude, all season long, the Wings defense was okay, but it wasn't great. The offense had so many moving parts and not a lot of run support. Baseball term. Shout out Paul Skeens. But Nick Damude, all the way to the final game, was amazing. And he should, or maybe, hopefully gets on a few top 5 goalie of the year ballots, because based on the circumstances, he was phenomenal. Now, there were times when Deacon Knott had to come in the game, but like I said, Nick, like we all thought, at least from me as media and as a fan, maybe other fans and media did too, that Deacon Knott might be the future of the Wings, or wherever their franchise goes, hopefully does not fold. But Nick Damude, despite all of that, had 59 saves in the final home game. He was awesome all year. It's not going to get much credit for it at all, besides career save percentage average. But great job for Nick Damude. He is your golden lunchbox. Next up, let's do our candidates for we'll do the breakout star now. Well, let's do best two-way player. So the best two-way player this is not transition. This is if I could redefine, or should I say take away transition player of the year. I'm not saying whether or not my winner, I did vote for transition player of the year. I'm just saying this player for me is a guy, I even originally before I knew I was an awards voter, I did not think I was going to have transition. So best two-way player, it's not the guy going out the back door or pushing the offense or whatever. It's a guy who does everything well. I call it best two-way, but I'll be honest, Halifax's Jake Withers is number 3. And a big part of Jake Withers was his defense and his face-offs. I think if you are an awesome face-off guy, if you turn that into some offense, if you stay on defense, that gets you for this award. And Halifax's Jake Withers was awesome all year. Number 2 for best two-way player, Mike Messenger. Now, Mike Messenger was nominated for Transition Player of the Year. That is the thing. He makes number 2 on my best two-way player. He did take some offensive shifts. He was pushing in transition, and he was playing great defense. I keep saying it's a shame that he might have been screwed out of both Transition Player and Defensive Player of the Year awards. It's like, I thought he was a great defender. Apparently the team labeled him transition, whatever. Mike Messenger deserves credit for being one of the best all-around players in the NLL. Number 1, though, Zach Currier. The reason why Zach Currier got the nod over the other 2 guys was Zach Currier had tied for the 3rd most points on the Seals, and their offense was not good all year. Their lefties were not great. Wesley Berg and others suffered because of that. Zach Currier had to play transition, had to play defense, had to play a lot of offense, and even took some face-offs, and he was great the entire season. Zach Currier also, the final weekend of the season, in a game, the first game they played versus Las Vegas, 5 goals and a career high in points. He was spectacular all season long, deserves credit. I might change this to the best all-around player, but we'll go with best two-way for the sake of this year's awards. Next up, we're going to do assistant coach of the year. Now, there were multiple good candidates from both sides, offensive and defensive. A reminder for me, or just to let you guys know, my assistant coach, he cannot be a head coach. So I know Kurt Malosky and John Tavares do a lot of good things, but they were not nominated if they are recognized as the head coach of their team, all right? And that includes Derek Keenan and Jimmy Quinlan, just saying. These are the guys you may not ever hear the name of during the season, but you should. Number 3, running the offense of the Toronto Rock, Dan Dawson. Dan Dawson, brother of Paul, by the way, Toronto Rock legend, he had a group where they had Josh Jalek, Mark Matthews, great, Challen Rogers, Chris Bougie, cool, but how good were those rookies? Now, obviously, GM Jamie Dowick gets a lot of credit. Head coach Matt Sawyer should get credit. But Dan Dawson, the 2 leading goal scorers on the team, should be Owen Hiltz and should be CJ Kirst. That matters a lot. This season, CJ Kirst, 34 goals. Owen Hiltz, 32 goals. That's amazing. They were amazing, and I think the offensive coach for the Rock has got to matter. I think when Mark Matthews was healthy, their offense looked even better. He deserves a lot of credit for that. Number 2 assistant coach of the year was Toronto Rock defensive coach Bruce Codd, C-O-D-D. Bruce Codd was up against Troy Holowchuk because Nick Rose was hurt. When I say up against, meaning his defense had to step up when Nick Rose went down. Holowchuk barely missed the beat. The defense was great all year. They have multiple guys that could win Defensive Player of the Year. Talk about Rookie of the Year. Their guys on defense are awesome. And I know the names are always going to be great. But the defensive coach still has to help them out. He has to put guys in the right spot. Excuse me. Wow. Like Pat Gregoire told us that Elijah Gash was told to cover Jeff Teat. And I don't know who told him to do that, but I'll give credit to Bruce Codd for allowing it. I think stuff like that matters. And Bruce Codd, my number 2 assistant coach of the year. But number 1 is the guy who ran the offense of the Colorado Mammoth. I'm talking about Jason Bishop. The first games of the season, let me get to that, Jack Hanna did not play the first, 3 games of the year? Yeah. So they knew the offense might bring him in, but for 3 games they were without him. More on Jack Hanna in a moment, by the way. Also, the offense lost Ryan Lee again to injury and Eli McLaughlin. The offense also this season had rookie Braden Saris on the team and a very young Owen Ron and a very young Dylan McIntosh. More on McIntosh in a moment. They also brought in Andrew Q. And I told you guys that Andrew Q, I don't care how good he was in Georgia the last couple of years, his efficiency was down. And one of the things that I had heard said to me was, well, why is Andrew Q so great in Colorado automatically? People said, quote, the offense the Mammoth run. I don't know what that means, but I do know this guy's a big part of it. You can give credit to Pat Coyle, obviously, but Andrew Q also missed 6 games. In the 12 games he played, he was a legitimate MVP candidate. Forget Offensive Player of the Year. The guy was a legit MVP candidate. In 12 games, Andrew Q had 45 goals and shot 35% on shots on goal. That is the 3rd best all-time by a guy who scored 40 goals in a season. That is unbelievable. And this man's offense helped it out. Oh, back to Jack Hanna, right? He missed the first 3 games. Andrew Q missed a lot of the last few games. I told you guys Jack Hanna may not be as good yet as people think he is. Well, final 2 games of the year, actually we'll do final 4. Jack Hanna, 3 hat tricks, a separate 4-goal game. The man had 13 goals in the final 5 games. And that included a game with no goals. Because this guy's offense required it. Jason Bishop is my assistant coach of the year. And finally, we're going to give out our breakout star. I told you guys that last year I probably would have given it to Zach Higgins of the Ottawa Black Bears. Full disclosure, this award cannot go to a rookie. So keep that in mind. I don't care. I do care. I care how good CJ Kurse was and all that stuff. But this goes to a guy who has at least 1 year under his belt. And he could have had good years before. But this year, you were like, holy crap, this guy was awesome. Number 3 for me, Colorado Mammoth Dylan McIntosh. Dylan McIntosh joined the NLL in 2023 as a second-round draft pick by the Calgary Roughnecks. 2021. Excuse me. He first played in the NLL in 2023. Prior to this year's 18 games that he played, Dylan McIntosh played 10 games total and had 6 goals in those 10 games for Calgary and Vancouver, respectively. This year in Colorado, Dylan McIntosh had 26 goals and 14 assists. Dylan McIntosh was third and not first because he was not a star yet, but he was awesome. And Dylan McIntosh deserves a lot of credit for putting his head down, working, and waiting for this opportunity and capitalizing on the opportunity. Shout out to Dylan McIntosh, the 27-year-old from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia. Our second place for Breakout Star is going to go with the guy who broke the internet on a couple occasions. This man is only in his second year, but I told you guys the first year, just saying. So he was drafted in 2024, first round, 5th overall by the Roughnecks. From Windsor, Ontario, Brayden Maillet. But last year, albeit just 11 games, he had 12 goals, 20 assists, just 45 shots on goal. This year, in addition to throwing amazing behind-the-back goals, Brayden Maillet had 31 goals, 37 more assists, including 22 primary, for 68 points and 164 shots on goal. Much like Dylan McIntosh dealt with the injuries in Colorado, that's why he had to step up, Brayden Maillet dealt with a lack of luxury on offense. Now, while there were other players like Tyler Pace and Tanner Cook, Brayden Maillet had to step up, and step up he did. Brayden Maillet this season was tied for second on the Roughnecks in goals, and I believe he's going to be a star. We already knew he's a 5th overall pick. I get it. But breaking the internet and being that good was awesome. But it did not win my Breakout Star. My Breakout Star goes to a guy who was drafted in 2020, also a 5th-round draft pick. Has played all 5 years with the Roughnecks, 2022 all the way to now. Has played 18 games every season. Prior to this season, this man had 32 goals and 30 goals in a season. But this year, without Jesse King, without Curtis Dixon, Tanner Cook had to be awesome. It doesn't mean they won a bunch of games, but I think winning 6 games is a lot because of this guy. Tanner Cook this year had a league-leading 49 goals, 52 assists for 101 points, 89 loose balls, and 223 shots on goal. Tanner Cook, the 27-year-old from Courtice, Ontario. Tanner Cook, we know, again, highly touted draft pick, but he had never done this. He was also a big-time possible trade asset that, once again, I think Mike Board did a good job. I named Mike Board my GM of the year last year, and I think there's credit to be given that he stuck with Brayden Maillet, with Aiden Walsh, and with this hot commodity, Tanner Cook. I think Tanner Cook showed that you can build around him now, and now he is 27 years old. The 6'3", 223-pound beast is going to be awesome for years to come. So Tanner Cook is your Breakout Star. Again, Golden Lunchbox, Nick Damoud. Best two-way player, not transitioner, best all-around player, Zach Currier. My assistant coach of the year goes to Jason Bishop. And my Breakout Star goes to Tanner Cook. Another thing about Tanner Cook is this season, and myself included, We talked a lot about Keegan Baldwin, Andrew Q, and Jeff Teed and Curtis Dixon. This guy led the league in goals, and that to me is awesome. He also had a shots on goal percentage of 22%. Not too bad for a guy who has to shoot a lot. All right, folks, that's going to be it for today's show. Tomorrow we'll have a playoff preview, and then Friday we'll do our predictions, best bets, and our playoff brackets. And oh, by the way, fresh fits bracket for social media. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Allison Schneider of the Georgia Swarm and all the viewers out there. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, live from the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, about 1 o'clock Eastern. Hopefully the camera does not bug out again. Until then, this has been Dilly Dive. Bye.